as you're awakening, you'll notice that you aren't getting excited for the future as much as you were before this all started unfolding. Prior to this unfolding, you might have got excited about a future vacation or an upcoming getaway over the weekend or meeting an old friend. And you're just starting to notice now that you're not even thinking about the upcoming weekend, or you're not thinking about the upcoming vacation, or you're not even really thinking about meeting the old friend in a few days. It just doesn't have that excitement anymore because you're not even creating that event in the mind. You're not projecting happiness at a later time. Why? Because you're more and more present. And as you become more and more present, you're realizing that the happiness that you once were projecting at a later time, that happiness is actually here now. It's this present moment. And because you're experiencing this happiness more and more, of course, you stop getting excited about something that could happen in the future. In fact, you start realizing that the future doesn't exist, that all there is now. And the fact of the matter is you're experiencing the happiness here now. You're experiencing this contentment with what is here, what is now. So you're not anticipating something happening at a later time because you're content. You're not getting all excited about something that could happen over the weekend because you're content now. You stop projecting these events that you used to believe are going to bring you happiness at a later time. You stopped holding your happiness hostage, something that was enslaved to the future. And the future isn't real. Tomorrow never comes. There is only today. There is only now. And by being present with this moment, you start experiencing this happiness. So there's no need to get excited about something that's 3 days later, or an upcoming weekend, or an upcoming vacation. The experience of life is that it doesn't have these highs and lows like it used to. And the highs and lows of life really was an emotional roller coaster that you're riding, and you were sick of this ride. You're throwing up on the ride and you just wanted to get off. What's creating these highs and lows of life is really your attachment and your aversion to life. Projecting happiness in the future, which is nothing more than a thought, and being attached to that thought, being attached to that image, dreaming of the happiness that you're going to experience on the upcoming weekend, then becomes something that you are attached to. You start creating expectations. You start setting the bar up high. And then, of course, if reality doesn't match your expectations, then it feels like you get dropped, and there's a drop. Likewise with the aversion, if something's unfolding in life that you have no control of, which is everything, and you don't want it to happen, you're resisting it, then your resistance to it actually creates this feeling of a low. So these are the highs and lows of life, created from your attachment and your aversion to the experience. Now, without the attachment, without the aversion to the experience, then what's left? Well, there's peace. The experience is more stable. It's more equal. We could call it equanimity. The experience is more equanimous. It's more balanced. Now the mind hears that and says, that sounds boring. Without the highs and lows, I mean, that's what life is the highs and lows. But if you look at your experience, you're not enjoying these highs and lows of life. You're suffering the ride, and you actually want off. Seeing that your attachments and your aversion to experience is creating these dramatic highs and lows is just the start. And once you start seeing in your own experience that the greater the attachment, the greater the aversion, the greater the suffering of experience, well, then you start becoming wiser. You stop resisting. You stop holding on to things. And by letting go and by stop resisting, you start noticing that these steep highs and lows seem to kind of mellow out. And the experience of life is far from boring. It's enjoyable. You're no longer suffering this ride. You're no longer riding this emotional roller coaster. You can finally start enjoying life. That life is unfolding and you're not holding on to anything. Life is unfolding and you're not resisting anything. And the experience is that you're experiencing life fully for the first time. That you're meeting life fully. You're embracing life totally. So hopefully this helps. I'll see you in the next one.